everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today I am going to start a new book reading, which is going to be called The Last Sherlock Holmes Story. I'm going to start with the introduction. The book is going to be a very short book as well, with only 5 chapters. So here we go. How well my friend Arthur Conan Doyle would tell this story. How exciting and interesting he would make it. I cannot do that. I am no writer. I have been a doctor and a soldier. All I can do is make my report. But who will read my words? What will the world be like in 1976? Perhaps by then nobody will know the names of Sherlock Holmes and Jack the Ripper. Perhaps all Conan Doyle's wonderful stories will be forgotten. There is so much to explain. I must ask my reader to be patient. I had known and worked with Sherlock Holmes for almost 4 years when I first met Arthur Conan Doyle. ACD, I always called him. Like me, he was a doctor, and we quickly became good friends. He told me amusing stories of hospital life, and I told him about my life as an army doctor in Afghanistan. I also talked to him about Sherlock Holmes. At that time, most people had never heard of him. Only the police and some criminals knew what a great detective he was. ACD seemed to enjoy my stories very much. He was never too tired to hear about another Holmes case. We met many times and enjoyed many good dinners together before I realized that ACD had a special interest in Holmes. He wanted to be a writer and had already enjoyed a little success. Now he wanted to write about Holmes, using the facts of a real case but adding his own ideas to the story. I found this an excellent idea, so I was happy to think that my dear friend would become famous. I explained the plan to Holmes. He listened in silence, his pipe in his hand. Then he said, "Can he write, this friend of yours? Can he tell a true story? Does he understand the difference between facts and lies?" "I think so," I said. "He has just begun to write, but already he is becoming fashionable." "Fashionable?" Holmes said coldly. How can it interest me that he is fashionable? Can a fashionable writer have a serious interest in the facts of one of my cases?" I could not reply. Holmes sat silently, looking into the fire. At last he said, "Well, he may try. Let him do what he can. You may send him your notes on the Hope case, Watson." I wrote to ACD the next day, and he began work on the story. He called it A Study in Scarlet. When it appeared in the shops, I hurried out to buy it, and then sat for hours in a park reading it. The story was excellent, fast-moving, exciting, clever. I ran back to Baker Street. I could not wait to give the book to Holmes. He looked up quickly as I entered the room. "You're late, Watson," he said. "Were you ashamed to come here with that book in your hand?" "Ashamed, Holmes?" I cried. "No, ACD has done well. I see you have read it. Why don't you like it?" I was soon sorry that I had spoken. Like it? It is rubbish. Wild and fantastic rubbish. He has been careless with the facts, adding all kinds of unnecessary lies, and made the most stupid mistakes. But Holmes, I wonder what kind of doctor he is. I am sorry for his patients. I would not be surprised to hear that he has cut off a man's leg because the man had a stomachache. He is clearly not interested in facts. Holmes, I said as calmly as I could, A writer does not just report facts, he must make sure that the story is interesting to read. I am sure you understand that. Holmes smiled at me sweetly. My dear fellow, he said, I forget. You know all about my fine writing? How stupid of me to worry about a few careless mistakes. But your friend, Mr. Doyle, has shown that he does not understand how important my work is. He thinks that the criminals I fight against are stupid, miserable little beans. They are not. I fight against evil itself. He has failed to understand that. The book is worthless. Away with it, and with your friend the writer. I wonder what to say to ACD, but there was no need to worry. A study in Scarlet was not a success, and he began to write about other things. Several years later, he decided to write about Holmes again, but at that time I had other things to think about. I had fallen in love with Miss Mary Morstan. When she agreed to become my wife, I hurried to tell Holmes. I was full of happiness. I can still hear the cold surprise in his voice as he said, I cannot pretend to be happy about this. This hurt me terribly, but I tried to laugh. Well, Holmes, I said, I hope you won't be lonely when I go home to my wife. A shadow passed over his face. Oh no, Watson, he said. I still have my cocaine bottle. Was he asking me for help? Was it still possible? Then to save him? Perhaps. In my heart, I know only that my dear friend needed me, and that I failed him. And that was the introduction of the last Sherlock Holmes story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.